We are
Welcome!
live.
Welcome to the Undercard Supercast for May 6th, the year 2014 of our Lord. I'm your host, founder, editor, and shovel fight enthusiast of Undercard Superstar, Luke Irwin. Joining me tonight, Ben Cohn's favorite person on the entire planet, Ben Cohn. His controversial coaching decision to leave Damian Lillard open with the game on the line will ruin his legacy for years, Josh Hall. You may know him from the sites he gives a fuck about, Nolan Howell. Let's get cracking. Four-man panel, boys. I like it. It's crisp. It should be a very compact and quick show that will be left to be seen. Dateline, Ben Cohn's new delicious monitor, where he was able to watch fights this weekend. No UFC? No problem. A refreshing Zuffaless weekend meant more time for everyone else to shine. In honor of Mayweather's token shenanigans, who takes home the Mayweather-approved Bop-'em glove, and who was slapped with the atrocious, the abysmal, the abhorrent, despicable golden poop? Ben.
The Mayweather-approved Bop-'em glove. It's really hard to give it to anyone other than Errol Zimmerman. There were better performances overall on fight night, but you know he comes out. He's looking really fit. You know, the altitude gave him no problems. He took out two very, very well respected heavyweights. One more than the other, but he won the tournament. You know, and he's getting into the heavyweight title fight tournament, and he dedicated the win to Ramon Dekkers, which, you know, it was a really emotional night for him, and it was just two finishes. It doesn't get much better for a fighter than that. You know, you dedicate the win to your former your trainer who died recently, and he's got a chance to win the Glory Heavyweight title. Do I think he'll win it? No, but the fact that he's still managing to stay relevant after having lost brutally to Guida, and he's going to get another shot, and he already has a win over Verhoeven, so there's always a chance that he could somehow end up with that title. It's a long shot, but he definitely gets the Mayweather-approved Bop-'em glove.
That's right. That was a childhood toy.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Treat it with dignity and reverence. Josh.
Wait, I can get a
wait. Ben Cohn. Your golden poop, Ben.
You're a douche. Giving my golden poop to you. No.
With me the first time.
Soon, Luke, soon. Golden poop. As much as I don't want to, and as much as Luke will love this, sadly, I would have to give it to Pat Barry. His career has taken a nosedive. He's not doing MMA because he doesn't want to do the wrestling. He comes back with a bang and a 30-second knockout win, and then comes into his Glory debut and gets knocked the fuck out. I mean, I don't think many people would be able to stay in there after taking that kind of shot. But he's been knocked out a bunch of times. He's been hurt by inferior strikers. This guy's definitely not an inferior striker, but it might be time to hang it up soon if he gets starched in his next fight. It might be time soon, so Pat Barry gets the golden poop for me.
Joshua?
All right, golden Bop-'em glove. Gonna go to Raymond Daniels, because I've never seen anybody land that particular technique like that. That was just incredible. I mean, that he said side kick, switch side kick is what he called it, and I mean, absolutely flawless, and the speed on it was just incredible. So, even though there was a whole lot of impressive performances, Ben already covered Errol Zimmerman, and he was phenomenal. So, I'll throw a little prelim love to Raymond Daniels. Golden poop, Adrian Broner. He might have gotten a win, but he managed to display less class than even normal for Broner, and that's saying a lot. And he didn't look good in the process at all. So,
welcome, Jim Gray.
Once again proving that he is not and will not ever be Floyd Mayweather as he desires.
my Golden Mayweather endorsed Bopham glove. Zimmerman, he was my fighter of the week, and for good reason. He was fantastic. But going off the board a little bit, Amir Khan is a guy that I had losing to Colazzo by TKO because I really overvalued Colazzo's hands and undervalued Khan's chin. But Khan looked fantastic, man. He probably had the best performance out of anybody, technically, from any discipline. He looked magnificent. He put on a hell of a show, and he beat the hell out of Luis Colazzo. Khan looked as good as I've seen him in some time. So very surprised by how his chin held up and how he just took a battering ram to Luis Colazzo like that. That was cool to see. My golden poop, of course, Adrian Broner, but not for the reasons that everyone else thinks. Watch Adrian Broner next time. I think he still has his baby teeth. It's really, really unsettling. There's something going on. He has teeth like a blue jay. It's really, really, it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to look at Broner's teeth. I don't know what he looks. He's got like Muppet teeth. I don't know. It's unsettling, and I won't stand for it anymore. Nolan?
I just want to say I'm thankful I don't have a nice cookie to unwrap eating while this podcast, or Josh would smack it out of my hand. My golden Mayweather-approved Bopham glove goes to the great Adrian Broner. In his words, he is Mr. Anyone Can Get It. He is an African who beat the fuck out of a Mexican. My golden poop goes to boxing fans after Floyd Mayweather's fight. Maidana did good. He did real good. He didn't win that fight. It's a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, Floyd's a woman-beating piece of shit, but he's still the greatest boxer of our time, and you just need to accept that, learn to love it, because it's the best thing going today.
Hope he goes out like Kurt Cobain. Dateline Sao Paulo, Brazil. We have a new main event with Junior Dos Santos pulling out of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil finals. The final card, rather. Stipe Miocic was left without an opponent. No more. Fabio Maldonado stepping in a heavyweight bout to face off against Miocic. What do you think about Maldonado's decision, and what do you think about the fight and or how it will end up, Ben?
Well, the fight, how it'll end up, everyone with half a brain, so apparently everyone except for Fabio Maldonado, knows that Fabio Maldonado is going to get his ass handed to him so badly that he's most likely going to be brought out of there on a stretcher if he's not brought out at all. Something Josh mentioned to me is that Stipe doesn't have the kind of one-shot power to put Maldonado out, really, out. And that's a bad thing because that means he will take an extended beating for up to 5 rounds. We all know Fabio's way too tough for his own good, and this is a perfect example of that. And I really am actually not happy about this fight being made, despite other people going, yeah, why don't you like fun things? No, this is stupid. It's dangerous. He's not even a top 10 light heavyweight. He's the top 15 to 20 at best with decent boxing good boxing offensively, horrible boxing defensively, and no ground game to speak of against a former Division I wrestler who also has surprisingly good hands and cardio for a heavyweight. This is a horrible matchup. It's a stupid decision, and there's no reason for this fight to have been made. And I'm actually nervous that Fabio's going to have some serious permanent damage from this fight. I really am not happy about this fight being made.
Josh?
So you're really in favor of this, Ben, is what I gather.
Yeah. That was
since you decided to hijack everything I was going to say, but at least you credited me with it, though.
Oh, yeah.
That was peachy of you.
Unlike some other people.
No, it's the whole situation. I mean, they need a fight. They particularly need a Brazilian for this fight because Miocic versus a non-Brazilian is not going to exactly push the needle at the Tough Brazil finale, and there really isn't anything else on the card to do it at all. It was a one-fight card that now has become it'll be fun to watch for a little bit if you don't mind watching Fabio get his head beaten in, but it's not going to end well for him, and I don't see any way that he takes anything other than a long, painful beating. But his balls are the size of fucking watermelons, so kudos to him for that, but he's absolutely insane.
I think Fabio actually has a chance, not a great chance, but he always has a puncher's chance in his fights, and you're not going to put him out that easily. The fact that this is a 5-round fight doesn't really bode well for the Brazilian. But then again, people, we could have had Nog in there. We could have had Nog. So be grateful. It's one Brazilian's life for another. But as far as Maldonado goes, if he's okay with it, then I'm okay with it. I'm not going to tell him what to do. Plus, it's a nice payday for him. It may be, he knows he's never going to get a shot at Jones. Maldonado's never going to fight for the title. So why not take a main event fight? It might be the only UFC main event in his career. He can say he was on a main event. Get him a little extra scratch, probably. Yeah, good for Maldonado if he's getting his while he still can.
After this, he probably won't be able to.
So it's if you're going out as a main eventer, hey, you can do a lot worse for yourself, and he probably will.
Well, we could have had Nog in there, and I'm a little upset we didn't, because God knows I like to see homophobic pieces of shit get knocked the fuck out. That said, Fabio Maldonado is God, pretty much. I honestly don't see a way Stipe Miocic wins this fight. He has amateur Golden Gloves boxing, and it's just.
Nolan, you went out. Nope. Nolan hit the mute button. Nolan hit the eject Johnny Utah. No. Nolan pulled the ripcord. Mutes with attitude, MWA. So, while we are waiting for Nolan to...
Ben Cohn muted me. What a fucking surprise. Ben doesn't like hearing anyone but himself talk.
That is a shock.
That is not true. I listened to 2 very coherent thoughts. Yours was just awful.
Alright, in fact, what pro boxing experience does Stipe Miocic have? Answer, 0.
Better for him than Maldonado. They're working much better for him than Maldonado's.
Fact. Fabio Maldonado has pro boxing experience, which trumps amateurs. It's science, Ben. It's how it works.
You look like the Aliens guy.
He's got world-class wrestling, too. Oh, wait.
Dateline! Las Vegas, Nevada. With May Day in the rearview mirror, it's time to look forward to Money Mayweather's next bout in September. Who would you like to see as Mayweather's next opponent, and who do you think it will end up being, Benjamin?
Right now it's hard to tell, but they passed over Khan last time, and I don't know if they're going to do it again. If Floyd decides to pull the same shtick he did last time with letting the fans choose, then he's probably going to make them choose between Garcia and Khan. If he's going to choose who deserves it the most, I'd say Garcia. Garcia's probably the one who poses an interesting threat to him. And he right now has the best claim. If they're going to go for the guy who will talk shit with Mayweather, and they can push the fastest hands thing, probably going to go with Khan, because even though he has a weak chin, Mayweather's not exactly a power puncher, so it could be an interesting fight as well, but I would say definitely would prefer the Garcia fight first.
Josh?
Well, Khan's out of the equation, I believe, because Ramadan's going to be a conflict for him being able to train.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he can't go in September. He's already said that. So with him out of the equation, I personally want to see a rematch with Maidana. That was the closest fight that Floyd's had in a long, long time. There's genuine hate there, and if you're Floyd and you're 37 and you're trying to get big money payouts, aside from him taking a fight with Pacquiao, I think you can sell Maidana a rematch much easier than anything else. So I think that with Khan out of the equation, that's the most logical fight and the fight that I personally want to see.
Let's get this out of the way first. Yes, I would love to see Pacquiao. No, it's not going to happen, even though it makes really good sense for both fighters in their current positions right now. Logic has never been a factor in the Mayweather-Pacquiao negotiations, so it's a pipe dream. So on to the realistic challengers. Garcia, I would have said absolutely before this fight, but he did not knock my socks off his last fight in Puerto Rico. He had a much weaker opponent than Lucas Matisse, and he did not look great. He didn't do himself any favors. Khan would be the choice, coming off of an excellent performance, but again, during Ramadan, that's going to be tricky, so that might be next May Day. So now you're looking at Maidana, or you're looking at some like a higher weight for him at 150 or 154. Guys like Golovkin, guys like Martinez.
I've seen Peter Quillen's name thrown around just because it would be an easy fight to put together, which I don't want to see, but...
way he takes a fight with Golovkin. That is
I suppose if Cotto beats Martinez, they might put together a second fight with Cotto. Logically, the fight with Maidana makes sense.
And Floyd says if the fans want to see it again, we can do it again.
The rematch with Maidana makes the most sense. If that happens, I think Floyd is going to have a bit easier time, just not for any reason, but because now he'll know what to expect from Maidana, who, basically, if Dean Ambrose was a pro boxer. But I think that's a logical fight to make. It's easy, especially for a September fight. You have a relatively short turnaround. Both guys are already in boxing shape, rather than trying to gain weight or have an opponent cut weight. So I think that's going to be the fight. If not Khan, then probably Danny Garcia. As much as I would love to watch Floyd pound on Broner in the battle of the lesser two evils. Nolan?
Why would you match two all-time greats like that?
I didn't put Matisse in there with him.
Yeah, I'd like to see Matisse get the piss beaten out of him.
Would ya?
I certainly would. Yeah, Amir Khan's out of the question, and I really don't care. I mean, the hand speed thing maybe, but otherwise it's not really knocking my socks off, but whatever. The Maidana rematch is probably the most, the easiest, most logical decision. A lot of people were saying they thought Maidana won, which is ridiculous, but I think that's probably the fight to make, and it seems like they're angling towards it. I think Leonard Ellerbe already has a name picked out for it too, so why not? It was a fun fight. I think it'll be boring the second time around because Floyd will know what to do and probably take him to school. Probably look like the Robert Guerrero fight, I imagine, just him picking apart from range. So I mean, yeah, that seems like the money drawer, even though I don't think it'll be a great fight. Danny Garcia, I'd like to see him get one more win against a big guy because he kind of ruined any momentum he got off the Matisse win in his last fight.
And finally, Dateline, Florida, West Virginia, Alabama, wherever there's skanks throwing shovels at each other. That's what we're datelining from.
Tool shed somewhere.
Dateline Al Borland's backyard.
This was in Ohio.
Dateline that backyard tank
There
out.
we go. It certainly is in Ohio. Yeah, I can vouch firsthand that Ohio is very much like that. I live 20 minutes away from it. Okay. By now,
2 happened.
By now, everyone has seen the lovely video of the two young lasses going toe-to-toe with each other. Cheap plug alert. I wrote a technical breakdown of said scrap at Undercard Superstar. I'm pretty proud of it, and it's worth a read in your day.
It's terrible. You should definitely read it.
It's really, really, really bad. It's the first thing I've written in, I think, 12 years. So
I enjoyed it.
Anywho, you guys have all seen it. A lot of America has seen it. There's so many layers of wonderful, wonderful content here. If you had to pick out a favorite moment of the entire 8.5+ minute YouTube clip, Ben, what would be your favorite moment of the shovel fighting video?
Well, I would have to say probably my favorite part would have been the it's a tie. When they clinched up that second time and she just starts landing right hand after right hand after right hand in kind of a hammer fist motion of some sort. That was tied with a very, very close tie with when she's like, "Stop hitting me in the face! It's a fight, bitch! That's what you're supposed to do!" Or something to that effect. It was funny as hell up until that shovel smashed into her head, and I was like, wow, that's pretty ridiculous. And I got a little annoyed at that, but other than that, it was pretty amazing.
Josh, what was your choice nugget from the video?
I mean, just the lack of fucks you have to give to just throw a shovel at the back of somebody's head. Like, I hate it, but at the same time, I can't help but respect it. And
I hate you, little girl. God damn it, do I respect you?
Yes, that's pretty much how I feel. I respect you, Burgundy. No, I mean I've never seen anything like that. I laughed for a good solid 5 minutes after I watched that, and I felt bad, and then I laughed some more.
It was delightful. As an aside, Deadspin posted a Vine from said shovel recipient, and I guess she's in good spirits and joking about it. No cerebral hemorrhaging, thank God.
Well, she didn't have much working with up there to begin with, but
two things I like. First off, the pre-fight visit to the chicken coop was a dandy. That was a moment of good sportsmanship, checking out the chickens before going to battle. And the mid-round discussions about the surgery of Mittens the cat. Thoughts and prayers go out to Mittens. Hopefully those moles are taken care of. And I'm glad to see that even in the heat of battle, we can take time out to discuss our furry friends and our pets. That makes me, as a bleeding heart pet owner, very happy. So all the best to Mittens. Nolan?
I got the abbreviated version, and my favorite thing is the end when the girl's lying and crying, saying she wants to go to the hospital, and the genius, pimp-handed kid holding the phone says, "I got a crocheting kit back in my house. Let's go, baby girl." That kid, that is A+ level sociopath behavior. To use getting hit in the shovel as a pickup. So good on you, kid. You are my hero.
You won't remember this tomorrow, baby. Literally. You have very serious head trauma.
I have a crocheting kit at home. Let's go, baby girl.
We're going to suture up this massive head wound and then get to dickin'.
Probably the honorable mention has to go to the fact that while she's laying there crying on the floor towards the end and yelling, "I can't hear, but it's okay because I kicked her ass." That's got to be the honorable mention.
Honestly,
I enjoyed the sudden heel turn she had, where it seemed to be a split crowd initially, but as soon as she threw the shovel, it was like, well,
how do you use a weapon? And I think the girl's mother coming on the patio to reiterate to get the fuck out of her property. It was like it was the best. If Trailer Park Boys was made with a female cast, this would be. Oh my god! I just seen someone drinking a rum and coke and living in a car. Oh my god! No, there was so much just loveliness about it. That tall girl, she needs to be Jessamine Duke's striking coach. Some push kicks and some long jabs, man. Duke would be a train of fire.
And speaking of someone who needs to get hit in the back of the head with a shovel.
Come on.
I agree. Adrian Bruner does need to get hit in the back of the head with a shovel.
Jessamine Duke got hit in the face with a shovel plenty of times.
And after the fight with Stipe, Fabio Maldonado might as well have been hit in the head with a shovel.
War bitch.
That'll do it for today. We'll be back later this week talking about Fight Night Brown versus Silva. Any interesting news? I'm going to touch on Glory 17's loaded card and any happenings and or rematches to Shovel Fight. I will pay cash money to see a rematch. War Mittens the Cat.
Have a good night, y'all.